Welcome to NYLFTV. I am Kenny St. Ville, and I'm joined by my guy Geoff Magliocchetti of On SI. He does amazing work for not only the New York Knicks, but the New York Liberty as well. Tonight, we have an amazing comeback victory by the New York Liberty, who come back after trailing by as many as 19 points against the Atlanta Dream. This is the second comeback win against the Dream this season.
Unbelievable.
Geoff, let's talk to him. What happened tonight? What was this all about?
A dreamy comeback. That's exactly what happened because, look, there was a lot of adversity against the Liberty. I mean, Porzingis was getting hacked half the game, no foul calls. The Liberty were outshot at the free throw line by 16, but a stat that really stood out to me, this is New York's third win over the past two seasons, where the other team has had at least 16 more free throws, and they've gone on to win the game. The rest of the WNBA total has only three combined. So that's an incredible stat.
Incredible stat.
Over the past 2 years, this team has now won 3 games where the other team has at least 16 more free throw attempts than them. So the rest of the league only has 3. So what can you say about what can you say about a stat like that? How does it define this team's culture, and what does it say about the grit, determination, and identity of this group?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't have to keep getting in these situations, but I think it just shows a group who's kind of just hard-nosed and doesn't really let the officiating get to us. I mean, we've never complained about the officials, the foul count, and I think that's something we pride ourselves on, like in this locker room, is not pointing the finger at anybody else and understanding it is what it is, and you got to just find a way to win. And that's kind of out of your control. Like what the officials call, what they don't call is out of your control. All you can do is try and put yourself in the best position to succeed, and I feel like we really played through it tonight. Understanding, obviously, there was a huge foul discrepancy, but we never let that, be the reason why we're sitting here in media now and just, talking about the refs. Like, it's not about them. It's about us and wanting to find a way to be able to play through it, and at some point, hopefully, we'll be on the other end of it.
I feel that this really defines the grit and determination that this New York group really wants to, push forward. And this does have the makings of a bit of a turning point. Like, it's official at this point.
Yeah.
This was New York's first instance of consecutive wins since they started off 9-0, which unfortunately feels like forever ago. But for at least 40 minutes out there, for at least 20 minutes at least, it was back. We saw what guided this team to a strong record. And this is the type of game where, you separate yourself. This is where you separate the women from the girls in a sense. And they came through. They came through big. No one almost could have blamed them for kind of, folding at this point. Because, there's no Jonquel Jones. You have to deal with Bree Jones. You have to deal with Brittany Griner in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's a formidable task for anyone out there. But at the same time, New York comes in. They do lose that rebounding battle, but they only allow 32 points in the paint tonight, a really true step in the right direction. They make this comeback win. New heroines arise in the form of Isabel Harrison, the form of Niara Sabally.
Yes.
This is a character-defining win for this New York group.
Character-defining win. Absolutely character-defining win. And we have to just speak about Leonie Fibish. Fibish came up big, came up huge. Just her back-to-back games where she shot more than 7 field goal attempts. She had 9 field goal attempts. She was perfect throughout the first 3 quarters. She shot 4 or 5 from 3 and finished the game with a season-high 21 points. Actually a career high in the regular season. So let's talk about what Leonie Fibish delivered to the New York Liberty tonight.
Yeah, I mean, coaches made sure to tell me that I need to stay aggressive, so.
Just how on a night when maybe Sabrina's struggling, for you to be as efficient as you were and kind of help with Brianna lead that third quarter surge that we saw. I mean, how good does your shot feel? How good has the past 2 games felt for you?
Yeah, I think, it helps when it goes in, and I have the confidence to shoot another one. But I think what really made us good in that third quarter is Stewie bringing up the ball, being the point guard, and, having her just initiating the action and making really smart decisions.
8 of 9 tonight, so combined with the 11 from the last game, this is tied for the most Leo has shot in back-to-back games. This is her most attempts. And like Michael Jordan before her, Leo has taken it personally in the sense that Coach Brondello has challenged her to come out and shoot more. She wants to see her shoot more. The length is great. The defense is great. But when you're equipped with a shooting talent, something that Coach Brondello went on to describe as beautiful, one of the most beautiful things she's ever seen out there. I'm not even exaggerating about that. That's what she literally said in her post-game comments.
Love everything about Leo and what she brings to this team. She's the ultimate professional, how she comes ready to play and selfless. We're encouraging her to shoot, obviously, and put her in the actions there because she's the most pure shooter I've ever seen. And with her size at 6'4", her ability, to come off a screen and just get balance and shoot it, it's beautiful. But we posted her up a few times and tried to get it downhill a few times. She made some really good decisions. But, it starts, she takes pride in defence, loves defence, so we love players like that. But we're going to continue to grow on that offensive side.
She wants to see that more often. She wants to see that fly, and Leo has responded to that challenge. Because I think one of the most underrated aspects of Leo Febish's game is the teachability, is the adaptation. And we're really seeing that over these past 2 games, and it's really worked into New York's benefit.
It absolutely has worked into their benefit, and Leo's somebody who prides herself on the defensive end. She talks about how much she enjoys just stopping players as opposed to doing what she's doing. And Breanna Stewart also spoke about how excited she is, and she didn't take any credit for Leo being as aggressive as she has been. She refused to take any credit for it, but...
Oh, look at it. Look what happens.
Yeah, but for her to have a night like tonight, especially on a night when Sabrina's shot maybe isn't falling, just how much of a huge lift is that for you guys?
No, Leo being confident is huge for us, and really was throughout the entire game, but I would say she became, I don't know how many shots she shot in the first half compared to the second, but it seemed like she shot more in the second. 6, and she made...
6 or 6.
Yeah. Oh, so she was really shooting him in the first. Well, I told her she needed to shoot more, honestly, so...
So are you taking credit for this surge?
No, but I think she likes it when I pass it to her, so she shoots it when I give it to her, so I like that. Yeah, I think she's she's working out with Zach. Like, Zach is her kind of workout person in pre-practice. They're constantly in the gym and working on new things. But also, Leo has a bag that's deeper than just a 3-and-D player, and you're starting to see it, especially in these past 2 games when she takes the nice opportunity and really gets downhill, gets to the basket. But for Leo, it's all about confidence. She's a young player. It's only her 2nd year in the W, which is crazy because the way that she plays. But really excited for her to just keep building on it and consistently making sure that teams are having her at the top of the scouting report all the time.
The aggression that Leo is showing is absolutely amounting to wins, and we're looking forward to seeing more of this from Leo, and we're going to see how she moves forward with this.
One thing that stood out to me, if I may.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
One thing that stood out to me is in her comments was she loves the, quote, predictability of defense, the reliability. You can always change what's going on in the defensive front. I'm paraphrasing her. You can always. I'm not even going to try with the imitation. I know I do the voices. I try to do the voices anyway, but I won't even try that one. But Leo has said that she tries to, rely on the predictability, the reliability of defense, because you can always change that. You can always, step up. You can always expand yourself. With offense, how many times we've said, we got good looks, but they just didn't fall through. There's always unpredictability on that set. So kudos to Leo for embracing that sense and getting one of the few staples, one of the few things that can go right or wrong in the game of basketball.
One of the controllables of the game.
Yes.
One of the things that you can control is how you play on defense. You can't control the whistle, but you can control how you move your feet and get active, and that's what they've definitely been doing. I want to talk about the bigs because we saw some point forwarding a lot tonight. Leo with 4 assists, Stewie had 4 assists, KB had 4 assists. There was a moment in the game where Breanna Stewart's running the point guard. She's running the 1. So let's talk about that because they obviously had to go big with Atlanta being such a big lineup. And Stewie was phenomenal in the role that she played today. So,
but going back to the assists, it's nice to have 24 assists. We haven't had as many recently, and that shows selfless basketball, and that's what we're built around. Just good to great. We talk about that all the time, and just making sure the shot quality is where it wants to be, and trusting your teammates. And we made shots. We didn't make shots. We still only shot 38%. So imagine if we had made a few more that were assisted. So there are areas we know we can work on, but when your post players are, creating for others, that's pretty special.
I don't know. I love those moments where I'm able to basically go 1 through 4 because I've been basically doing that my whole life. It started from high school. I was playing 1 through 5, so being able to do it at the greatest level of basketball, it's a lot of fun. And then especially making just those big moments and when the time really counts, So credit to my teammates for just coming back with a win, getting those stops on defense, and then just like playing together, So
we had to play big tonight because of Atlanta's team, and we all know that they are just great players, and we also talk about that during film, like when we move the ball like side to side, like we are really efficient. So I think it was thanks also to them that we had a great run during the second half.
KB, what do you think worked so well about that lineup where it was Stewie at the 1, you were there, Leo, Marine, and Izzy? What worked so well there?
I think it was just like our ball movement. I've mentioned it 1,000 times how if every single person touches the ball on the offensive end, then we always get a great shot when it goes from one side to the next side, second side, third side. Like, we always get a good look, and I think that's what happened. And then once we did that, we got some stops on the defensive end, and we were able to create on the offense. So it was just those moments.
We had to searching for what's going to work. And Stewie is something we've spoken about. I've used it, and we want to continue to grow on it. And Stewie at the 1 with the lineup that we had, I thought it was very versatile, but it showed them a different look. Now you've got, our 4-man bringing the ball up, and how you're going to defend that. And I thought we executed well, and we defended well, and we went bigger. And size against this team is good. We love size.
Coach Brondello said that in the locker room at halftime. She said, "We're winning this game." What does it mean to have that faith despite such a dire first half? And how did you guys have faith as players to fulfill that prophecy?
No, I'm glad she said that, because the first half, that doesn't exist anymore. Like, when we come into the game, the second half, the score is 0-0, and we came in with that mentality, and it changed the game, basically.
That's how the makeup of this team is. It's like anyone's night, at any point. And obviously there in the fourth when I got in, they were like sending 2 to me, and Tosh got an open layup, Leo got an open layup. Like, understanding there's some games where I just have to use my gravity to be able to open up the floor for someone else. And it's not about me and what the scoreboard says, but it's just about us. And